Holy cow, what the heck just happened? I have a break right now between class, and I'll make this video. What the heck just happened? James Harden, immediately after all his teammates gave him backlash, the Rockets were like, okay, we're going to trade him then. He wants out that bad. We're going to pull the trigger. And that's exactly what they did. They pulled the trigger on a trade where, this is a big one. So James Harden is now a Brooklyn Net. And the Rockets, okay, so it's the 4-team trade between the Pacers, the Nets, the Rockets, and the Cavaliers, kind of just a random team that threw in a couple guys. And they did actually get a really good package for what they gave up, I think. Yeah, they gave up a pretty good package. So here's the trade deals. This is crazy. I'll start off with the Nets, because the Nets got James Harden. That's it. And what they gave up was Levert, Jarrett Allen, 3 first-round picks, and 4 first-round swaps. So the swap means that their best pick will get traded for the Rockets' worst first-round pick. So the Rockets just gained all the Nets' first-rounders, plus their next year's, they're going to get their picks if they're higher than the Rockets. So, pretty dang good deal there. And they also gave up a second-round pick as well. It was from Milwaukee. So, holy cow. And so honestly, this is not a bad package. This is not a terrible package to get Harden. You gave up your 2 young players. Yeah, we kind of figured that was coming. And then you give up 4 firsts and lots of swaps. So that's not great, but if you're really in win-now mode and whatever the heck's going on with Kyrie Irving, I mean, you kind of had to pull a trigger, I think, now. And Harden was ready to be traded. Rockets were finally ready to pull the trigger. You saw Boogie and John Wall were just mad about Harden. They wanted him out. He wanted out. So what's the point of him being there? Luckily for me, I bought this jersey for $10 at, I think it was Just Sports. It was literally a clearance rack because they don't wear these jerseys anymore. It was like a year ago. It was literally on clearance rack for like $10. They had like a Lonzo one too, but I got the James Harden because why not? So it's not that big of a deal there. It actually is official. Luckily, I got this for no cap. That was a great deal. That's not the point though. So James Harden is a Brooklyn Net, and now they have Kyrie Irving at the 1. They have James Harden at 2. 2 pretty controversial players, but I think Harden will quiet down now and he'll just play basketball. Kyrie, I don't even know. If you want to know about Kyrie, then damn, he's so dumb. Stephen A. Smith said he should just retire today, which isn't a bad take. He's being very dumb. I mean, he's done so much over his career, and now he's just not going to show up, and now he's going to expose COVID, and now he's out for another week at least, seeing parties. At least it wasn't a strip club like James, but I think James in a new location now will quiet down, and he'll probably just start playing basketball, and he won't be as controversial anymore. So that part is not what I'm scared of. But it's just the touches between Kyrie and Harden. Hopefully they can figure that out, how to mesh together. KD will still run the 4 probably like he's been. Now you'll lose Levert, who is your spark plug on the bench or in your lineup. He can get you 25 at 23 a night. And still no Dinwiddie out for the year, so that does hurt. And Jarrett Allen was your best center. He was your defensive player, so now you have to rely on DeAndre Jordan to run that 5. Or maybe even Kevin Durant. They said at the start of the year Kevin Durant might run the 5 spot. So I'm not sure how that will play out. It could, but it also could not. And then let's just talk about what the Rockets got in return. They got 3 first-round picks from Brooklyn, and then a first-round pick from Milwaukee, which actually was from Brooklyn as well, I think. No. That was from Indiana, I think. So, and then Malcolm Brogdon, I think that's from Indiana. And then they also got the 4 swaps, 2021, 23, 25, 27. And the first rounders are 2022, 24, and 26, and 22. So 222s, 24, 26. So none this year, but still, that's actually not a bad package for a guy that didn't want to be there and you weren't going to get much of him. And your main piece you got, or your main player you got, was Victor Oladipo from the Indiana Pacers. Now you're running John Wall, VO, I guess, Eric Gordon, Boogie, House Tucker. I mean, you probably won't be. This probably didn't make you better this year. I'm sorry, but your team's still not great. But it helps you in the future, and it's showing you maybe you could start going into that hit the reset mode. Oladipo's still young enough. Maybe you can get him back into All-Star form. Let him be the number 1 option. Get him back into his All-Star form for next year. And, yeah, you got a lot in return, so it's not a bad package for giving up Harden. 4 firsts, Oladipo. You also got Dante Exum from the Cavs, who's a nice backup point guard. And Ranius Karooks from the Nets, who can be a fine backup power forward. And, I mean, you need bigs, kind of. So, I mean, it's not a terrible deal, honestly. I'm not mad for what they did here. Flipping Harden for this many pieces. I mean, yeah, of course I wanted to keep the jersey, but I still can keep the jersey. It can be a throwback. Harden Rockets jersey. And then the Pacers, they ended up getting Karis Levert. So basically, here's what happened. It was Levert and Allen went to the Rockets, and they decided, we don't want Levert and Allen. We want Oladipo, Karoots, and Dante Exum. So they flipped Allen to the Cavs for Dante Exum. And the Nets also gave the Cavs Taurean Prince. So it was Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince to the Cavs. Now that's underrated for them. They traded a pick and Jarrett Allen or a pick and Dante Exum for Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince. That's a W of a trade 100%. So I'm not sure how that worked out in their favor, but they got that one completely W's. The Cavs might have won this trade, honestly. I mean, they gave up nearly nothing for a very good center that you didn't necessarily need, but is still a great player. And Taurean Prince, who's a fine wing. And you're still contending, so not terrible. And then for the Pacers, they got a second-round pick in Karis Levert for Victor Oladipo. So actually, that's not a bad return. You traded down younger. Maybe not as good now, but he could be better in the future. And I honestly think if I'm the Rockets, I probably would have kept Levert. But you did get extra pick, and you also got Karooks and Exum, so it's not terrible. But I don't know. Levert might be the better player now, and he's definitely a better pick for the future. So Pacers, that's a W. I think Levert can fill that role with Brogdon and Sabonis better than Oladipo might have, honestly. They also got a second-round pick, which isn't a big deal. So, I mean, that's a crazy trade. I mean, wow. Wow. That's all I have to say. I mean, so much went on here. I just tried to explain it all pretty quick. I have school in like a minute, so this video is maybe around 7 minutes. So Harden is now a Brooklyn Net. Rockets, here's a recap. Harden's a Brooklyn Net. Rockets get 4 firsts and Victor Oladipo, as well as 2 role players, Karoots and Exum. The Cavs get Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince, and the Indiana Pacers get Karis Levert and a second-round pick. Lots of crazy stuff just went down. This is the biggest trade of the year so far. Blockbuster deal. 3-star caliber players, 4 maybe even, got traded. So, wow. Crazy, crazy talk, guys. That'll be it for me. Thank you for watching. I gotta go to class. Peace.